Hey, in this video, we're going to learn about how to deal with basic triads in their most compact shape. So what I mean by that is a triad that's written in sort of this snowman shape, so a stack of thirds. Um, and so something that would sound like this. And we're going to call this compact form. In terms of inversion or shape, this usually gets referred to as root position. Although root position does not necessarily mean it's in a compact form like this. So we're going to say compact form. The first thing to learn is that there are three different notes that make up a triad. So triad meaning a chord with three notes in it. The good thing about learning triads in their compact form first is this shows you which of those notes is the root. So in this case, the root's going to be the bottom note in the stack. We call it the root note because the chord is built from that root, if we look at it this way. The middle note here is called the third of the chord, and the last note there is called the fifth. Now that's because of their relationship to the root when they're in this nice compact shape. Now, when we get into recognizing triads, the most important thing is that a student is able to rearrange the note heads on the staff to look like a snowman. So, no matter how the triad is voiced or shaped or spread out throughout the staff, a student needs to start learning the note name combinations that make up these triads. The second thing that they're going to get used to as they start identifying the quality of the triads, not just the root, the third, and the fifth, is that then they can use that knowledge to assess the actual intervals. So the root to the third is really important. In this case, root to third is a minor third. And root to fifth is a perfect fifth. So that makes this a minor triad, as you can see here. So minor third above the root, and then a perfect fifth above the root gives us a minor triad. A second way we can do this is we can also look at this as a stack of two thirds, where it's a minor third and then a major third. That can be useful as well. But I think it's going to be best for students to link the fifth and the name, so the names of these two parts of the chord, the third and the fifth, to the actual intervals they're looking at to determine the quality. Now, in terms of visualizing the quality on the keyboard, they can remember, number one, if they can remember their 5-finger scales and their 5-finger hand position. They can notice that fingers 1, 3, and 5 naturally kind of fall in a 5-finger position on the three notes that are going to make up a triad. If we're using all white keys, we're going to run into some different qualities as we're putting our hand on the keyboard. But that's a great way to remember, sort of think of the stack of note names that creates these different triads. In terms of now visualizing the keyboard to help assess quality, something that we can remember is there are going to be three semitones to make a minor third. So if we go up from D to F, they're actually D to D sharp to E, and E to F. So there are 3 semitones. We can remember the minor third as a triangle shape to remember those 3 semitones on the keyboard. And then same, if we wanted to add this major third on the top, we can remember a major third as a square. So that's 4 semitones. So that's one way to kind of link a shape or a visual to remembering the difference between a minor third and a major third when we're getting down into the nitty-gritty. So the main point of today's video, the first thing that students should learn is how to recognize this prime shape, or this main shape of a triad in snowman position, and really focus on rearranging the note heads on the staff, and that will be the letters. So every chord with some kind of D, some kind of F, some kind of A is going to have the root on D, and it's going to look like this in its most compact form. So it doesn't really matter if it's a, D sharp minor triad, or we could say a D flat major triad. Doesn't matter what kind of flats or sharps we're going to add to these note names and put on these note heads. It's still going to look like a DFA triad. In our next video, we're going to explore the sort of extensions of how students can memorize triads based on that idea, that it's always going to have every triad with a root on D, D sharp, D flat is always going to have the same 3 letters in it. All right, and I'll see you in the next video.